Welcome to Smack Talk, where I talk about SmackDown. And I'm going to have a link down below in the description box to credit WWE, of course, for putting all of this together just for me, so that I can just go over it and say, hey, look what happened, and then share my thoughts, because that's worth something. Okay, right here is a beautiful shot of the Usos, who have not been drafted yet. I had to look back after and be like, oh, they didn't get drafted, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Or maybe in 20. See what I did there? Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, they each got 2 belts. They're working on the rainbow. Okay? And I just don't know what the future holds when it comes to that. We know now that Roman Reigns is on SmackDown. And we know that the World Heavyweight Championship, the new one's going to be exclusive to Raw. The helps if I could speak. Gunther, the Intercontinental Champion, is coming to Raw. Was on SmackDown, so the whole Imperium thing doesn't look like any teams got broken up as far as I can tell so far. I just don't know what they're going to do. I want to see a tag team champion on SmackDown, a tag team champion on Raw. But some will say that the overall tag team division's not that strong, so they kind of merged them together, and now that tag team can go on either show and compete against both teams, both brands' tag teams, right? But again, then they unified the World Heavyweight Championship and the Universal. We won't get into that, because I've already done that a lot, and it makes no fucking sense to me. But anyways, moving on. L.A. Knight defeated Butch. I like these guys. Butch is deceptively strong. He's like a mini Cesaro. I like him. And as I've said before, anybody who's in a tag team like Xavier Woods or Montez Ford or whatever, when you see them one-on-one, it can be a different beast. And in fact, hold on, I gotta turn my fan on because I'm getting a little hot in here. I'm getting all energized. It was just nice to see. Again, I've said this before, and it can happen that I repeat some of the stuff that I said before because it's like right there in front of me. LA Knight, definitely someone in recent memory that I am very excited for to see, like, where he is going to go in the future. I hope he doesn't end up like a Zack Ryder, a guy who just has the skill set and then gets, underutilized. Although, with all due respect to Zack Ryder, a.k.a. Matt Cardona, L.A. Knight has some insane mic skills. But anyways, don't have much to say about that. The Street Profits defeated Braun Strowman and Ricochet and LWO's Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro. I actually really liked this match. It was just good. There was that little funny moment there for a second with Braun Strowman. No, I got you, Ricochet, and just tosses him out like a bag of potatoes. Actually, a bag of potatoes probably weighs more than Ricochet. But yeah, overall, it was good. And then, I forget his name. Angelo Dawkins did a flippy flip over the top rope, and then Ricochet does it, and I'm just like, man, that guy ain't supposed to move like that. Just overall, this was entertaining, and again, literally the E in WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment. Was I entertained? I was. I liked it. And that's the end of that. My dog is barking. You better zip it. Selena Vega defeats Sonya Deville, and then Vega repelled a sneak attack by Rhea Ripley. What I did not like about this segment is, first of all, how Sonya Deville got pinned so quickly over such a non-brutal move. I get it. Sometimes you could sneak up on... No. I didn't like how it finished. It didn't make either person look strong. And then it was interesting because then Sonya Deville comes in and says, hey, what are you doing? Or I don't know if that's literally what she said to Rhea Ripley, and then Ripley with the headbutt, almost sort of like trying to protect Selena Vega So that was kind of interesting because Sonya's sort of, supposed to be the heel. So it was like a heel trying to stop another heel by protecting a face. Yeah, it was kind of confusing, but that was interesting. It was, because that's not usually something you see, like I said. And yeah, apart from that, I don't have much else to say. She seemed pretty decent in there. Selena Vega, I don't know much about her as an actual like wrestler, a performer, but I am looking forward to seeing her match in Puerto Rico against Rhea, because Rhea is just like amazing. So this one-on-one high caliber match, it's going to be interesting to see just what she has, because just like Omos, right, at WrestleMania, I almost had to think there, against Brock Lesnar, I was impressed. I was actually shocked. I was like, oh, wow. Oh, he can do that. Okay, cool. So maybe that'll be sort of the case with Selena Vega. AJ Styles and the OC brawled with the Viking Raiders. I like the OC. I'm glad that they're all back together, and I think for the first time, and I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I think they're a face. Normally, I think the stable, they're... Was that it? There's no other... Come on, WWE. Usually there's a... Oh my god, I got distracted there. I'm sorry. ADHD brain. They're normally heel, is what I'm saying. And now the OC seemed to be face, so that was cool. And they did a little brawling there with the Viking Raiders. Like I said, they haven't grown on me yet. Right here in the middle of the... or not in the middle, more to the right. You could tell, ADHD. At the top here, you got to pay attention to that, because sometimes you'll see things here that you don't see in the main highlight clip. And usually what you see at the top is what you'll see on the right-hand side. But yeah, and it was nice to see, like, Michael Hayes, RVD, the whole damn show, JBL, Teddy Long, who went on a massive blocking spree on Twitter. It wasn't him. His account had gotten hacked there some months ago. And then in the end, Owens and Zayn defeat the Usos in a WrestleMania title rematch. And then we had Solo Sikoa with Matt Riddle, did a little scuffle, well, not quite backstage, on the ramp there. And I want to talk to you about that really quick, because you got that whole cryptic thing the last several weeks there with Paul Heyman, talking to Solo Sikoa alone, saying, hey, psst, okay, this is your night now. And it's like, are they trying to have them turn on the Usos if they don't know their role and capture the gold again? I don't know what they really mean by that. And I know kayfabe, and I'm looking too much into this, but even Paul Heyman brought it to light when he said sometimes it's good to be at home, because you'll see things that you normally wouldn't see when you're at the live event. That is literally, well, maybe not literally word for word what he said, but that's the gist of what he said. And that was in relation to when we saw Sami Zayn and Jey Uso by the trailers outside in the parking lot. And he's like, look, man, I acknowledge you and all this kind of stuff. And then they gave each other a little fist bump. Like, how are they not talking about, like, the Usos not talking about, like, what was all that stuff about? It's his time, because there's been a few times where they did make a mention that, from Sami Zayn, that, when they were doing their little promo with the Usos, hey, Solo was ready to drop you at any moment. I wish they would address that a little bit more. And then it just ended so weirdly, in that we didn't really get to see what Solo was supposed to do, just because Matt Riddle came out for a minute. Because then we saw Solo Sikoa just standing there with his arm crossed, like, right? Like he's constipated. And I'm just like, well, he could have done something. But I guess they want to drag out the story, which I believe they've been doing a great job at, simply because I'm still so invested. I was scared after the Montreal thing with Zayn, after the WrestleMania thing with Cody, after Zayn and Owens won the belt. I was afraid the whole thing was going to like fizzle. I was going to lose interest. The hype train was going to come to a screeching halt. And somehow I'm just as intensely into it, but for different reasons, because now we don't know what the hell's going to happen, as usual, but just with different members. Now we know what happened, obviously, with Owens and Zayn. They won the belts, right? And I think they're going to be holding on to them for a while. I don't know. But that's my speculation. I don't know. And then the whole, like, the Usos didn't get drafted. They're the only team, if I'm not mistaken, only team/faction, trio, group, whatever the hell you want to call them, that haven't been drafted with the rest of their group, right? So, again, I believe on Monday Night Raw. Yeah, I'm going to have to end it there because I don't know what I'm talking about now. I forget now, Backlash, when this whole thing takes place, there is the draft. I forget when the final draft occurs or when it's actually going to take place. Yeah, the 2-night draft has kicked off on SmackDown. Okay, there. See, it helps when you read. And it does actually continue on Monday Night Raw. There was something about, is it Night of Champions? Backlash? One of them. I can't remember. And that happens after Monday Night Raw or before. No, it's before. The Raw happens after. Anyways, this Monday night coming up, the rest of it's going to happen, and it's just going to be, as I always say, interesting to see what happens. Because I feel like there's some things that are a little bit kind of like, not really all over the place, but in recent memory watching wrestling, I feel like there's a lot more little things going on, and I'm having a hard track keeping up. And that's not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. Because for a long time, there was not much going on. And it was kind of very stagnant, very stale. And now I'm finding it like, holy cow. Very dynamic, very organic, if that's the proper word to use. Anyways, I don't want to make this video any longer than it needs to be. And I already ruined it. No, I didn't. It's only 12 minutes. Good. A lot better than the 20 minutes I usually spend. As always, if you like the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. It does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm. And if you didn't like the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs down. And you'll get that, you'll get this here. Watch me get a, no. Watch me get a copyright strike just for this here. Oh, come on, it was the highlight of the thing here. This was supposed to be, well, it's probably right at the very end, right here. No. There we go. That's it. Just like that. You like my editing skills or the lack thereof? Anyways, if you want to subscribe, great. If not, whatever. Thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care. And maybe I'll see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.